that after speaking with the board and praying about this and kind of agonizing over the decisions and just trying to be wise in all this, we've chosen to begin having worship again here at the church, starting the 31st of May. So obviously not today, but starting next week. So there's just a couple of guidelines that we want to walk through in regards to that. And we're going to walk through that in a minute, but I just want to show you what things are going to look like as you maybe as you come in. You'll notice that the front door is propped open. We'll have all doors open so that nobody has to touch any surfaces in regards to doorknobs or any of those kind of things. So just make sure that just feel free to come in. We're just going to take a little tour right here real quick. All the doors will be propped open. It is this area, also referred to as the narthex. We'll be keeping our traffic to the narthex area. The balcony will be open, and so the narthex, the balcony, and the sanctuary. Maybe you can see we've got a few things set up that we'll get rid of. This is all for recording purposes, but we'll have those set up, these things removed. You might be able to see that the chairs are placed for the distancing that we need to observe, and so what we'll ask you to do is to come in with your family, to sit with your family, and to not skip any seats, however many people your family are in your family. And then if there's another family that wants to sit in that row, if there's another smaller family, then we would ask you to skip 3 seats between those things, between you and the other family, just to keep that distancing and to keep things safe for all those involved, and comfortable for all those involved, is probably a better way to say that. So there's a couple other things. Again, we will ask all persons coming in, especially in the next couple of weeks, to wear face masks. We'll have some available here at the church if you don't have one, or if you forget yours at home. And just so you know, the only persons that will be exempt from that to some degree are those of us that are on the stage speaking. It's really difficult to be understood. So when I'm preaching, I will not have my face mask on. But we ask you to be respectful of all those around you as well. We'll have hand sanitizer available here at the church. We're working on finding a source for that and having that available. There'll be some folks that will be here to help you if you get here and it's hard to find a seat. We'll have some folks here to help find a seat for you, and maybe possibly we may need to have to rearrange a few things just to accommodate people that are coming in. When the service is complete, we're going to dismiss by row, so it'll be like a wedding. We're going to dismiss you by row, and we ask you not to congregate in the sanctuary or in the narthex area, so that people don't have to skirt around you trying to get out. We would just ask that you would leave, and we'll include the balcony in that as well, so that we are so that we kind of flow things out in a manner that allows for people to just kind of to not have to worry about coming into that 6-foot radius of one another. There will be an offering plate that will be out in the narthex area, and you can place an offering in there if you would like to, but we are not going to pass the plate around during Sunday. There will be no children's programming or services available during worship, so we just ask you to keep that in mind as you make a decision about whether you want to come or not. While these guidelines are in effect, we're going to do our best to keep our worship time to a minimum. The restrooms will be available. Again, we ask you to use those in an emergency situation, um, just so that we have less people traveling back and forth in that confined area. So we look forward to welcoming you back to worship at Tulip. We're excited about that. But when you're making your decision of whether to attend or not, we would ask that you consider these questions, and if any of them apply to you, or if you don't feel comfortable, then please just continue to worship online at home, or invite a couple of friends to watch with you that you've been kind of socially distancing with. Because again, this is we're not pressuring anybody to attend. We just know that there are some folks, and maybe you're one, that needs to have this gathering together and being prayed for in that process. So the questions we would ask you to consider is: do you have any symptoms or issues that would make you or anyone else uncomfortable? Do you have an elevated temperature? Do you have a persistent cough? Even if you have a reason for that cough, is it going to make others around you uncomfortable? Is there sneezing? Is there congestion? Is there any of those kind of things? And I know right now with all the allergies in the air, that we can all give a reason for some of those things. But if it's going to make other people uncomfortable, just keep that into consideration. Are you in a high risk group? Do you have a low immune system? Are there things that, are you a transplant patient? Are you in a high risk age group? All those things, just please keep those things into consideration. Have you been exposed to anyone who has exhibited symptoms? Have you been tested for, or have you been around anybody who's been tested for or been exposed to the virus? If those things are true, then again, just be considerate of those around you. Does your current work situation put you in potential exposure situations? And then to those of you who have young children, we love children, and I love snatching them up. I love giving them hugs, and their hugs are really hard to resist. So please help us by keeping them by your side if they attend with you while you're in the building and while you're worshiping. Again, this is not a decision that we came to lightly, and it's one that we've tried to think through all of the processes for and how to do it well, keeping everybody in mind and being considerate of all things, at least giving that attempt. But we also know that at some point we're going to start opening things back up and working through this process. So again, if you're not comfortable with that yet, please don't feel bad about not attending. It's fine. Just worship in your home as you have been. We'll continue to bring you the message into your home. But if you want to come and participate in person, by all means do that, and we'd be happy to see you then.